Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be an at-home workout. So I know so many of you guys are still in quarantine, depending on which part of the world you're located. So I wanted to make sure that you are covered and you have something that you can still continue to do so that you're not completely forgoing all of your health and fitness goals. So today's workout is going to be coming straight from one of our Biolayne Workout Builder programs, which is an at-home program. I'm going to be doing the upper body session today with you. So first off, I'm going to go through all of the equipment that I'd recommend having, not only for this program, but just things that you should probably have at home that are pretty affordable and that are going to really help facilitate you getting the most out of your training sessions. I'll explain to you the costs as well so that you have everything covered. And in the description for this video, I'm going to add some links as well so that you can literally go and click, get the products and get stuck into those workouts. Okay guys, so the most beneficial pieces of equipment that I think you guys will have or need from home are these banded or pull-up assist bands. So they come in a variety of different strengths and resistances. This is important. I would kind of discourage you from just getting single, like buying them singly, because depending on what muscle group you're training, you're probably going to need a different resistance. And I'd also recommend getting 2 sets so that you've got 2 red, 2 black, 2 green, and 2 purple. That way you can do a variety of different movements that call for 2 arms or 2 legs at a time. So that's my first recommendation, and these are required in this particular upper body program, and they're also required for a lot of the lower body exercises in the workout builder as well. All right, so the next things that I would recommend having that are kind of crucial would be the cables, and they need to come with snap hooks, so these little snippy things here. So I've seen these available online just as the cable handle on its own, in which case you'd need to buy a separate snap hook, but you can also get them exactly like this as they are. So something like this, I think they set you back about $15. And for the bands that I just mentioned, they range anywhere from say $20 through to about $45. So again, if you get 2 packets, it's going to be a little bit more expensive, but I do think that it's very worth your while if you know that lockdown is going to be going on for a little while longer. And it's also useful even if you're going on holidays and things and you still like to be able to train, but you don't want to have to drag yourself to the gym. You know, that can sometimes be really expensive just for a single workout. So if you're going traveling somewhere, they're super light and convenient to pack with you. So outside of COVID, they can still really come in handy. And this is definitely something that I've utilized when I've been on holidays too. So next, after having the snap hooks and the cable handles and the bands, something that I found to be really useful, particularly for my lower body, knowing that I really like to train glutes and also keep focus on my hamstrings and my quads, are these ankle cable, I guess ankle cable attachments, I'm going to call them. So there are such a variety of different products available online now. These cost me $10. This is Evenness, but there are so many other brands, and you're going to be able to do exercises like lateral abductions with the bands, kickbacks for glutes. You also use these for leg extensions, single leg extensions, and other exercises that are going to be key for helping you to maintain your muscle mass if you're not able to get into the gym. Lastly, if you want to get a little bit more, I guess, into the upper end of price range, but also this is something that I have probably used or incorporated, you know, every session, so very worth the spend in my opinion, would be getting yourself some different cable attachments. So this one is like pretty sturdy. I don't know how much it weighs exactly. It's probably about 2 pounds or 3 pounds. But you can get more affordable ones that are like a plastic. You just have to do a bit of searching online. This bad boy actually cost about $60, but I have seen others that are priced around $50. And then the lightweight, kind of really plasticky ones, it's not to say that they're bad quality, they're just lighter. You don't really need them to be as heavy as they are. All you're doing is like press downs and, you know, pulling movements and things. They are priced more reasonably at about $20. So that's pretty much everything that I'm going to use for today's exercise. But before I finish, last thing that I think is also very valuable would be to get some of these leg weights. To me, this screams aerobic Oz style from the 90s, but they can actually be very helpful for some of the core exercises. So for me, like as somebody that's pretty advanced, I'm used to doing a lot of weighted, like abdominal work with cables and machines. If I just do body weight crunches and things, it's not really going to challenge me in the way that I need to. So I've got these, I think each one of these weighs 2.5 pounds. I think they were about $10, $12 as well from Amazon. And I do my hanging leg raises with these. I'll do leg lowers, which I'm going to include in today's program. And they are super effective for core. So that's probably the last thing that I would recommend if you are training from home and you want to get as much bang for your buck out of your training sessions. Okay guys, so today's workout is day 2 from our beginner pull-up assist band program, which is one of the at-home workouts, as I was saying before. So the first exercise is a decline push-up. Today I'm going to be using, I guess, this Rogue machine to give me the elevation that I need to do the decline push-ups. But the really awesome thing about the Workout Builder is that it has demonstrations for you. And these were truly filmed mid-COVID when we didn't have access to the gym. So you'll notice in the video, Lane is doing a push-up using one of our kids' step-up stools inside. So we really tried to think about what people actually have access to in this. So for most of the exercises for the at-home program, in fact, I think everything, you're going to have video demonstrations for how to do it using all of these bands and the equipment that I've mentioned today. So let's get stuck into these push-ups. Okay guys, so clearly puffing, I'm already dead, 1 set down. So you'll notice with all of the Workout Builder programs for home is that they are fairly high rep based. That is because typically or traditionally we'd be wanting to advance the movements at the gym with resistance or more weight, but we don't have that here. So they are slightly favored towards a higher rep range. So exercise number 2 is going to be banded pull-up, banded assisted pull-up. So I'm going to go and head over and use our squat rack to loop over the barbell, to loop over the bands, but I guess you have to get pretty creative with these. So if you are not fortunate enough to have a squat rack, we are very lucky. We've had this one for a few years now. So that's going to be where I do my pull-ups today, but you can purchase, I guess they're like pull-up bars that go between your 2 doors. That would be something that you could do these pull-ups with, or the other good thing about the Workout Builder is that you can actually go and tap on the exercise like I'm doing now, and you can actually see an alternative exercise that will still train that same muscle group. So some of the options on here are a dumbbell pullover, a partner assisted pull-up, I guess that's not a good example, a wide grip pull down, and some various other options. So they're all going to be displayed in the builder. So I'm going to go and do some pull-ups. Let's get after it. Okay, so I have set up the resistance bands on our squat rack. So depending on your experience levels, you may prefer to start with something that offers a little bit more support. So the green band, working your way down to something like the red band, which is pretty limited support. So that would be for a more advanced athlete. So today I'm going to jump in and just use the black band for 15 reps. That's actually still pretty challenging for me. Usually I will be able to do a handful of body weight pull-ups, probably 12 to 15. But the RPE for this first week of training is actually a little bit lower. So I don't want to push myself too hard because the programs do progress from week to week. So let's give it a go. 2 hands in, don't flack yourself in the face. Wrap that foot over and straight up. Okay, so the next exercise is a single arm seated cable rows. So again, using the resistance bands to provide the resistance or tension instead of a cable. I'm using the handles with the snap hooks, and I've secured it around our squat rack, but the video demonstrations will show you that you can tie it to basically anything. If you have stairs in your house, looping it around the railings. I think in the video demonstration, I'm actually using it wrapped around like the door handle to a sliding door. So you can get pretty creative. I'm lucky enough to have this. But I guess the next thing is just kind of set up. You want to make sure that you're stepping away far enough to be able to get full extension. So right now where I'm standing, I'm probably a little bit too close, because when I extend my arm, now there's no slack on the band. So I'll take the seat back so there's plenty of tension when I go through to complete the full range of motion. Okay, so the next exercise is a banded rear delt crossover. So normally you would use I guess a pulley system at the gym with cables. Today, obviously I'm setting these up with a band on each side of the squat rack. So again, you do need to get a little bit creative with this at home to find something that's going to give you, I guess, the right range of motion. The video demonstration, I'm pretty certain, is actually having both of the bands fastened to the base of a stool, and that kind of provides you your resistance and something to cross over from. So coming down onto your knees, I'm going to get you to make sure that you're sitting on your butt. Again, you don't necessarily need the handles and the snap hooks for this, but if you prefer it, might be more comfortable, you can. I'm not going to worry about that. I'm just going to grab it nice and tight, make sure that the bands, I guess, are just above your shoulders for this particular exercise, and then just driving out, squeezing the backs of your shoulders. Core is nice and tight, and slight little pause there. All right, so the last two exercises I'm going to superset because they are a smaller muscle group. So I'm going to be doing a tricep push down using the easy bar. You could also just use the cable and the handle for a single arm tricep push down if you don't have one of these. Like I said, they are a little bit more expensive. But I'm gonna have to get creative with this in order to attach it to the cable. So I've got it looped around with a snap hook, and then I'm gonna put this over here as well, which is a little bit difficult. I'll probably start with the snap hook. Pop that on first, and then add that in there. Awesome. So something that you're going to notice right here is that the bar is quite low to the ground. So if I'm trying to get any tension from this, it's not going to provide it to me. So what I'm going to have to do is loop the band over a couple of times to give me some extra resistance, because right now I wouldn't be getting anything out of this, even if I dropped down and did it on my knees. So there's a bit more tension at the end of the movement. So there you go. I've made a mistake. I'm going to do it again, and I'll actually be able to get some proper tension. Just looping it over once more. So you can either do it from a standing position, or you can come down onto your knees, either or. I'm going to do it from my knees, because I feel like that tension's probably good here. I'm just going to come straight down, and that feels just as good as a cable at the gym, folks. You are not missing out on anything. So keeping your core nice and firm and braced, shoulders down and back, squeezing those triceps. Okay, so for the last exercise today, it is a single arm cable bicep curl. So pretty easy. Cable attachment, or handle attachment, sorry, to the resistance band, fastening it on anything that you can. So I actually used the railings of our balcony in the example, so you'll be able to see that. But again, get creative, find something that's sturdy and strong, loop it around the bottom like you can see here. So I'm going to take a couple of steps back just so there's plenty of tension on the bands. Again, core always braced. You want this switched on and engaged all the time. Bicep curl away, guys. Okay, that's it for the upper body. I'm now going to finish off today's workout with a core exercise. So again, you can go through and choose any of the exercise options that are available in the program, so you can scroll through. There are at least 15 different exercises. I really want to give these ankle weights a go. It is a more advanced exercise, and it allows me to kind of challenge my core by adding extra weight. So I'm going to put those on, and then I'll just show you the exercise. All right, normally you would probably want to use some kind of a grip for anything that is hanging. You want to make sure that you can target maximally the core, the muscle that's intended to be worked here, not your grip strength. So I haven't got mine with me here today, but we'll go ahead and do it anyway. So just starting with your body completely outstretched, coming all the way into the knees, trying to minimize movement at your spine. So straight up, rounding your spine. So you really want to think about spinal flexion here. So you're kind of, that's not going to help. So you really want to kind of round your back to really maximally engage your core. So guys, that's it. That's my workout for today. That's my upper body session from the Workout Builder. If you have any questions about it, please feel free to leave a comment, send me a DM, however you need to. We also have plenty of information, Q&A, FAQ on the Biolayne website that answers a lot of questions about what's involved in these programs. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you next week.